Hello everyone, and welcome to Boldly Go. Drinking, a product of the Wednesday Night Gentlemen. This is a show dedicated to talking about and reviewing the latest Star Trek episodes as they come out. Today we'll be talking about Stardust City Drag, Season 1, Episode 5 of Picard. As a warning, this show is full of spoilers, so consider yourself warned. I'm your host, Tactic Angel, and with me is Midget Radio, my murderous socialist friend.
Hello.
Hello, Midget Radio. How are you today?
Okay. Tactic Angel, how are you? I'm
doing all right, man.
Cool.
Doing all right.
That's cool.
It is. Yeah, whatever. As the title may imply, we're talking about Star Trek. We're doing it while drinking. Midget Radio, what do you have today?
I have Kilt Lifter, but I'm almost done with it. I'm going to drink this Founder's Porter, which is dark, rich, and sexy. I'm actually pretty excited about it.
Have you had it before?
No. That's why I'm kind of excited about it.
How do you know that it's all of those things?
Well, because it says so on the bottle.
Oh.
I trust the bottle. Fuck.
Well, I'm trying something new today.
What's that?
I have the Low and Slow.
Okay. The hell is that?
Is a sweet and rye whiskey.
Low, slow.
Yep.
If
you Google that, you will come up with everything except for a whiskey, but it is in fact a whiskey as well. Because that's how you cook a roast, right? Like a pot roast.
Yeah, true. How is it?
The truth of the matter is, it's a little more sweet than I expected, and
okay,
I'm not 100%. It's certainly interesting, and if you like it, I mean, it's when I say sweet, it's not at all like an Irish whiskey. It is strangely sweet, and I can't even place what it tastes like.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe like rye plus a pixie stick. I don't know.
That's fucking weird. Okay.
In any case, we are talking about Star Trek, Stardust City Drag, Midget Radio.
What?
Thoughts on this show?
It was all right. I don't know. I kind of went back and forth a few times on this episode. I'm going to land on it's all right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I found this episode to be C- sort of TV fare.
Okay.
I also think that this is the most depressing episode of Star Trek I've ever seen. I would put it somewhere around the 760th best episode of Star Trek.
Oh, God, really? I don't know about that, but...
I think that this is the 760th best episode of Star Trek.
I don't know about that, but...
I think there's a very good chance that next week it goes down one.
Okay, let's get into it.
All right, so here we go with the plot synopsis. So by this point, the audience ought to be very surprised that this episode starts with a flashback. It's 3 years before the explosion of the Romulan star. We see a man. He's restrained in a dark and dirty place. We hear his discomfort and see as he writhes against his bonds. In the distance, we hear a captive taunting him. We see the fear in his eyes. The camera cuts away from the profile shot to show a thick needle driven sidelong into his eyeball.
Yeah.
We watch as his agony boils over as she lifts and pulls. He is enucleated. We see the orb lifted, still connected to its owner by nerves and gore. Not for long, though, as we look down upon this tortured stranger, stare into the bloody chasm of his open socket, and hear the snip as the bloody stalk falls to his face.
Great.
His assailant is a largely unseen person, but by this point we are unlikely to give her much pity, as she is executed in a not entirely subtle manner by an intruder. It is Jeri Ryan. She walks to the still restrained man. We see him as an officer of Starfleet. He begs for her to give him death, and rather than stun him, knock him out, and take him away with her, she pulls a pistol and kills him.
Yeah.
We learn that this is Icheb, who we last met on Voyager. though he's played by a very different looking actor. But Jerry Ryan tells us after she kills him, so we don't have to wonder.
Yeah.
Back in the future, Jerry Ryan talks to Picard about what he's doing there. She talks about how pointless her life is and her struggle, so Picard can parrot this all back to her once he wants her help. And I'm not sure the writers have forgotten or just ignored this, but drinking photons is pointless since this is a holodeck, and if that is actually real booze, if they'd been familiar with 7 of 9, they know that one of her charming aspects is she can't hold her liquor.
Mm-hmm.
Outside, Rios is playing the fish out of water character in spite of the earlier hero worship that we saw, so Rafi can tell the audience who the fuck these characters are, because the deeper we get into the show, the greater the chance that you don't know anything about Star Trek if you're still watching it. So now that we're on board with 7 of 9, we go back to the heist writing mode. Characters plan a plan. They dress up in a way that should be fun, but we get to watch them execute each little part of it. They have to talk to Jizzle to get Maddox back, but they have to get past a reptile first. He's a big, evil-looking fucker. He can smell you lying, among other things. And we know this because both Rios tells us and a second later, the guy also tells us.
Yeah.
Even though it's an indeterminate amount of time into the future. But anyway, the script has the big bad evil reptile man tell you the same thing.
Yes.
It's just then that we learn that he took some drugs to suppress the scent, the lying scent. So we get to watch the drugs kick in right when they are needed to. This allows Patrick Stewart to demonstrate why Jean-Luc Picard doesn't speak French, or with a French accent, as he plays some of this hyper-evil one-eyed man trying to sell Jerry Rizzle to Jizzle for shizzle.
Okay.
I should have tried to read this before I read it. It doesn't matter. What people like about this show isn't the writing. I mean, our show.
Yeah.
Also probably this show. We cut away from this wretched hive of scum and villainy to some super awesome looking hospital. We're here with Rafi to act out another by the numbers sort of scene. This one is actually an excerpt from Crash, The Next Generation. I won't drag this out. She apologizes to her son for being a drugged up loon, and he's like, I don't give a fuck about you, Mom, because you weren't there for me and Dad, and it sucked. Okay, bye.
Yeah.
Back at the bar, it seems that Jerry and Jizzle were lesbian lovers, though the show dances just far enough away from it to maintain some sort of plausible deniability. In any case, it's all a ruse. Jerry is there to kill Jizzle. She grabs her by the neck, and Patrick Stewart starts giving a speech that sounds a little bit like Picard, though it isn't exactly profound because he's really just telling Jerry Ryan that murdering is bad.
Yeah.
Somewhere in the middle of this, Rios guns down an obviously evil large lizard man, and they leave with Bruce Maddox. Picard thanks Jerry Ryan for not killing her ex-girlfriend, doesn't mention a word about Rios gunning down the lizard man, and rewards her with 2 automatic phaser rifles that aren't really his to give away. He then beams her immediately back to the same place where she just about killed her ex-girlfriend, so that, wouldn't you know it, she guns her down, and then a whole bunch of security officers. Picard goes back to talk to Maddox, who tells Picard that Dodge 2 is on the salvage Borg cube, and then Dr. Girardi shushes him away so he can kill him in a medbed somehow.
Yeah.
And the EMH is very well aware of this happening, I guess. But, we'll just scurry past that. There's one other plot point. Essentially, Raffi is back on the ship, and though Jean-Luc Picard doesn't realize it, maybe the reason why he's happy is because she's the only person in his posse who hasn't murdered someone yet.
Sure. Yeah.
This is really a depressing episode.
Why is it depressing, Tactic Angel?
Principally, you know that I don't care that much about 7 of 9 as a character.
Yeah.
But it's my understanding that a lot of 7 of 9's plots in all of Voyager was her trying to become a better member of the crew. And part of that is 7 of 9's sort of journey from complete, I say my lines drone, into something closer to a human being.
Yeah.
And so at the end of the day, it's like, well, Jerry Ryan's essentially acting in this, which is very different than playing 7 of 9 in many ways.
I already have a lot of problems with what you're saying. But yeah, keep going.
And then she's sad that Icheb died, which is fine.
Yeah.
But to honor his memory, a man who definitely was into the high ideals of Starfleet when he was on Voyager.
Yeah.
She decides just to like throw it away, and she becomes like this person who's on a murderous rampage. And just gives up on all that hope for any sort of humanity. And that's just fucking depressing.
I don't know.
And the fact that Jean-Luc Picard is now running around with Dr. Girardi, who I assume he can be no more than 5 or 10 minutes away from learning, murdered Bruce Maddox, who...
Yeah.
I mean, God forbid we actually learn anything meaningful about this plot.
I know.
We have Eleanor, who fucking beheaded a senator last episode. And you can say, yeah, sure, the guy started the fight. And like, that said, I don't know if you needed to cut his head off. And I know I definitely didn't need to watch it.
Sure.
And then we've got Rios, who just straight up fucking wastes a dude in this. And
well, that dude was about to, like, he was drawing.
Do we know that? Does Picard know that?
That's what I remember seeing, and I don't know why Picard would need to know that for Rios to make the decision to.
You would think that Picard, if he didn't see it, would be kind of like, what the fuck, man? And the guy would say, oh, well, he was going for a weapon or something. I don't know.
Well, maybe he assumed that he was going for, I
guess
know. He doesn't need to question everything.
I guess he is of such unquestionable moral character.
Well, he may have just assumed, like, he's like, oh, I guess we were about to get shot, and that's why Rios did the thing.
Why would Picard beam Jerry Ryan back so she could...
I don't know. I didn't understand that, but also, like, what would be that conversation? She's like, can you beam me back here? And he's like, no. Like...
I'll beam her back. You say yes, and beam her back fucking somewhere else.
I don't know why you would necessarily do that. 7 of 9. I mean, he trusts her,
Sure.
That's nice. That's the low and slow.
I'm sorry. It was actually your comment.
Oh, okay.
That made the low and slow. I tried to breathe it for a second.
Oh.
Because this episode makes me wish for death.
This is a bit of an overreaction, I think. This isn't like a particularly good episode, but the fucking God. The like caliber that I feel like this show is held, the standard, the unreasonable standard that it is held to gets a little frustrating sometimes. So one, you're an asshole for not thinking that Jerry Ryan did a fantastic job on Voyager. She was acting every time she was on that show. It's a really solid performance. I feel like we need to go through all of fucking Voyager so I can illustrate to you what an asshole comment it is
okay, stop.
To suggest that she can't act.
I didn't say that she can't act. But, okay, so you have the Data episodes where Brent Spiner gets to play Data with an emotion chip or Lore. So he can do some, quote, real acting.
Yeah.
And I mean... That's fine. I get it. Like, they do it with all of the emotionless, logical characters. Spock had a couple bites at the apple.
Yeah.
Tuvok certainly did. The closest thing to a straight man on DS9 was obviously Odo. And he definitely had lots of emotional episodes.
Yeah.
So, like, they always give the straight man these opportunities to kind of stray out of it. And like, I think there's an episode where 7 of 9 is captured, but the EMH is inside of her, and he whines and dines. And there's like one where like they somehow I think they like tap into like her submatrix and like bring out another personality, and it's like this Ferengi.
It's like some
And so it's not like I'm saying Jerry Ryan can't act.
Yeah.
Because when Jerry Ryan is doing Picardo playing the EMH, she's fucking great.
No, that's not the only time she's great. And I disagree with the idea that like somehow these actors have to be given these more emotional scenes in order to have a chance to like act. That's fucking ridiculous. You see it in her, like in all of the subtle ways that she interacts with the crew members while she is fully 100% 7 of 9 and not some weird fucking possessed entity. She's really good in that show. She's really fucking subtle. I really like her as a performer throughout that entire series. So no, I don't agree that like if you're playing a robot, you're not really acting until you're given some stupid emotional scene or something to do. That's stupid. That's ridiculous.
I'm not saying that Jerry Ryan or that Leonard Nimoy or that Brent Spiner didn't do a great job with what they were doing. What I'm saying is they always give them the opportunity to show people that they can act.
Yeah.
Right?
And as we've seen with people like with Nimoy, there's basically no one else who knows how to play a vocal. It's like it's difficult, I think, to be able to play an incredibly restrained role like that of Data or Spock or a 7 of 9, and garner any kind of sympathy or seem in any way human, because we've seen people fail at that over and over again. So anybody who manages to be able to do that is a good fucking actor, is my point. And they don't need a scene where they get to be emotional, where they get to play to some emotion or something. Spock isn't great because one time he exclaimed Jim. All of his subtle barbs at the dot, all of that stuff is part of what makes Spock such a great character. And the same is true. The interactions that these characters have with their crew is part of what makes them so amazing. And we've seen people who can't. We've seen to Paul in particular who can't pull that off.
These things happened. They gave them this stuff. I don't care if people don't think that they can act. I think that they can act, and I think, in particular,
you are writing it off. You just made this point where you were basically writing off the performances. Well, she's playing a robot, whatever. Like,
no, you are assigning to me motivations for saying things.
I'm trying to understand your fucking reaction to this episode. And so far, all I've heard is 7 of 9 wasn't really a person. And then she gets to be more of a person in this, and it's really dark.
No, she starts as 100% drone, and you see her work at it throughout.
Yeah,
like
over 3 seasons.
No, she was on like 4, maybe 5 seasons.
4 or 5. Well, okay, no, yeah, 4, 5, 6. I was thinking 4 to 7, but yeah, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's 4.
So. In any case, she's on several seasons, and like when she starts out, she's very mechanical, and by year 2, you see like she's smiling. She's decided to fuck somebody other than Harry Kim, and she moves on to the EMH, and like they're going on like dates, and then eventually she trades up to Chakotay. And he's like...
Yeah, I guess, yeah. I didn't understand that one, but yeah.
Some coochie Moyev.
Yeah.
and that's, good for him. Good for him. But, like, she's trying to become more human. She's even nice to B'Elanna, who hates her a lot.
Yeah.
And, like, there's some development there as a human. And, like...
Yeah.
To give you some credit, there's 20 fucking years between the last time we saw 7 and when we see Jerry Ryan again here. And so the fact that she's playing a person who is basically really casual and like conversational, and she's not standing up straight, she's slouching back in the chair, and she's like bantering and whatever. Like, Jerry Ryan is acting as a fully realized individual in this. Yeah. And to believe that 7 of 9 went from drone to fully realized person and then decided, whatever, it's time to just be Peppermint Punisher, whatever. That is disappointing.
I don't think that's what happened either, though. So she's part of the fucking Fenris Rangers or whatever that are trying to impose some sort of justice system, I guess. Post.
Can you remind me why they do that?
Because there is no fucking government, like, apparently, because it doesn't exist. There is no law in this area.
Because the only thing more depressing is not doing it.
Yeah.
Is what she says.
Yeah. Yeah. So she's doing it because she feels compelled to do it, right? Because it's, given the circumstances,
whether or not that's
the
true
right thing to do.
A little bit hard to say by the end of it.
Well, I mean, so what? Your problem is she, like, takes revenge because of this person who tortured Icheb to death? And, like, because she
already killed the person who tortured Icheb to death.
Well, yeah, but she takes revenge on the person who's, like, directly responsible for that and who is throwing it in her face, like, throughout this episode.
Yeah.
So she's not like the noble ideal in this. And that is what is depressing to you. She's not the, like, I don't fucking know, turn the other cheek, Jesus Christ-like figure when faced with this, and that is what is depressing.
I don't know when the optimism is supposed to happen. It's 6 episodes in.
Yeah.
At a certain point, you have to turn around and say to Picard, listen, I have seen your posse, like, murder 6 or more people.
Well, okay, we've seen 7 of 9 do what she did,
mm-hmm.
and all of that makes sense. We've seen Rios kill a guy who was about to attack everybody. There at the scene, we've seen that. We saw Legolas decapitate that dude who was in a sword fight with Picard at the time. I don't think what's her face is killed. Raffi, has she killed anybody?
I said specifically in my rundown the reason why Raffi is the best character is she's the only person.
And then and then the Doc just killed Maddox. That just happened.
So stupid.
I agree that is stupid, but I don't know what you're talking about. You make it sound like Picard is running around with a bunch of fucking murderers, and that is ridiculous. That is a ridiculous assessment.
I carved out Raffi.
A band of ravenous murderers, except for Raffi. That is an absurd overreaction to what we've seen.
Who's
in this
a drugged
episode.
Up parent.
Listen,
whose
Tactic Angel,
like him.
I understand you. This show is more violent than I want it to be. It's more violent than I want Star Trek to be. All of that I basically agree with you at, but I'm trying to delineate here the irrational standard that we occasionally hold Star Trek to. I agree. These are things that I don't like, but they're not things that don't make any that just plain don't make sense.
Okay.
I mean, it's not that.
Midget Radio, I've talked for a long time. I would like you to tell me why I should feel good about this episode.
I'm not going to do that because, one, I don't think your reaction to this episode has to be completely binary. I didn't really enjoy it for the most part. I thought it was just okay. This entire season has been, up to this point, I would say, despite some of the world building, which I do enjoy, the overall, I feel like it's fairly mediocre. It's not the fucking worst Trek. That's for sure.
I said that this was a C- episode.
Yeah, I don't really have an issue with that. But your reasoning, I think, is a bit over the top.
My reasoning for it being a C- episode is entirely different than why I think this is maybe the most depressing episode of Star Trek I've ever seen.
Okay.
I mean, if you look at it, it's just paint by numbers, right? How many times have we seen...
Kinda, yeah. I mean...
How many times have we seen the drugged up parent or the parent who wasn't there for whatever
I don't know why.
reason?
I don't know why the fuck that scene was in this episode.
And it's like, I'm clean.
It was out of
like,
nowhere,
Jesus.
and it's like, no, you're not clean. I just fucking saw you. Like,
are you still talking about conspiracies? It's not a conspiracy.
Yeah,
I'm not crazy.
That scene was crap. This is how I was back and forth on this episode.
They are putting drugs in the water that turn the frogs gay.
Yeah, great. Anyway, yeah, I kind of liked the cosplay. I liked it because honestly, it just reminded me of like classic Trek, and I was like, this seems like it's just kind of fun and stupid, and I can go along with that.
I was really hoping for it when I saw the preview.
Yeah,
because you're like, God, how can you not have fun in this?
Yeah, and for the most part, all of that stuff was pretty fun. But the drugged up mom confession in the middle of the episode, I just killed it for me, and then I fucking hate the ending. With Dr. Jurati killing Maddox. I fucking hate that. It doesn't make sense.
All those good answers that we're not going to get.
Yeah, and it's like, I think one, I would really like to hear, I really would have liked to have just heard more about Maddox. Like, it would have been nice to know kind of who he became. His
relationship to Data.
Yeah, all of that stuff would have been really cool to kind of hear about. His hopes,
dreams, and aspirations for electronic people.
Yeah, all of that would have been fucking great. And then it escalates to I don't know how it escalates the fucking drama around whatever the mystery is behind fucking Dodge and Soji. And it escalates it to a point where it's like, what the fuck is this that's going to make it seem like this was a rational decision to kill Maddox? She was
mind controlled.
Like, what the fuck? Seriously.
She was mind controlled by Commodore O.
That's like what it would have to be, practically, Vulcan, at this point. But she's like...
Vulcan, Romulan, space magic.
I wish you knew what I do while I'm killing you. And you're like, what the fuck? Fucking, what is this? I thought you're a scientist. Like, what the hell? What? This is such this is a soap opera fucking reaction to what is going on. And I just, I can't, I just was, why? Fucking why? It's and I know, like, that's what I feel like. It's at such a point now where it's like, when we find out, it's not going to be enough. It's not going to be enough. It's still gonna seem stupid. It's gonna be the fucking Vulcan hello all over again. Like, why did you commit mutiny? Still doesn't make sense. The
Vulcan idea was a good idea.
Yeah, mutiny still doesn't make sense though.
But yeah, assaulting your captain so you can start a war
doesn't make sense.
It seems like a mistake.
Yep, it's melodramatic fucking reaction to
I'm gonna be a little bit honest about another thing
that
worries me about this. When I look at this, I feel like what they're doing is setting up the disintegration of the Federation so that it can play into Star Trek Discovery Season 3.
No, it's too early. No. They're 1,000 years in the future. It disintegrates now? Like,
it doesn't have to. You saw the flag.
Years. Fuck.
You saw the flag, and it had like 6 things, and like they've already said there are thousands of species out there. So figure, at least that many worlds, you would think.
Yeah,
something like that.
Well, yeah, we know 2 species can't coexist. Enterprise made that clear. So yeah, probably at least 1,000.
So like, if they start losing like 3% a year. Eventually, the whole thing will fall apart.
I guess. I don't know.
And I want one of these episodes to leave me with a good feeling.
That is fair. Yeah.
And to answer more questions than it poses. Because, okay, they start talking about, like, we carved up your buddy Icheb because we're going to sell his parts. And you're like, okay, so apparently, like, Borg implants are big business. And you're like, fucking why?
I don't know.
First of all, half of the universe doesn't have an economy, apparently.
What are you gonna do? That's always been an issue.
I get it.
But yeah.
And like, even in this, it's hard to explain why, like, Picard and Raffi are paid the same amount of money for their work in Starfleet.
Apparently, yeah.
Picard had enough money to rebuild his chateau, which had been completely destroyed.
Yeah.
And Raffi lives, apparently, in just miserable destitution.
Yeah.
She can't even like invite him in because it's so embarrassing.
Well, you look at that bitch, right? She doesn't know how to manage her money. Come on.
She doesn't have any money to manage, you idiot.
No, she had money and she didn't know how to manage it, and that's why she doesn't have any money now. That's the fuck.
I don't think you quite understand Star Trek.
Spent it all on drugs, but
she spent it all on drugs.
Yeah.
Well, I've seen that, but I also live in a society that is post scarcity.
Yeah.
So I mean, give me a self-contained plot somewhere, hopefully, or a semi-self-contained plot.
Yeah.
I don't understand why people don't look at things like Star Trek Continues that people clearly love and is 100% serialized and 100% episodic.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I agree. This isn't what I want. I that's probably true for most people. But I'm still trying to it's important to remain, I think level-headed with this. This is not the worst Star Trek in the history of the franchise. I think it's still better than a lot of canon well-established Trek. It's at least as competent, if not better than it is.
No, there's a lot of stupid Star Trek episodes.
Yeah, there's a ton of stupid Star Trek episodes.
There
are a number of strings of stupid fucking Star Trek episodes.
I will tell you that I would say on par, this was written better than probably 30% of Star Trek episodes. It was really fucking lazy. Because for the most part, it is paint by numbers.
Well, it is, but
this is how you write a heist.
Yeah.
You're like, we're gonna have like planning thing, and we're gonna show people doing it at the same time. And like, did you guys see Ocean's 11? Like, wow, what an amazing plot!
But
look, we're gonna throw a crash scene in the middle of it.
I mean, what the fuck? I don't think any of that is bad. But
it's just paint by numbers. Yeah. I'm saying paint by numbers. It's standard fare.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like cafeteria food in a hospital.
Yeah. Honestly, I think if they stuck a 45-minute one shot in the middle of this, then it would be like, it would immediately elevate the entire series. If they just did like a 45-minute one shot where it's like, hey, this weird thing we came across, we don't understand it. Oh, now we get it. Episode over. That's it. And then you'd be like, all right, this is better.
Or learn something from Burn Notice. You spend the first 5 minutes on the season-long plot, and the last 5 minutes on the season-long plot.
Yeah.
And I guess it would be 20 or 25 minutes in the middle because these episodes are pretty low effort.
Yeah.
At that point, you just put whatever you need in the middle of it, and we have some fun. Maybe somebody does something nice to someone else.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think
we're halfway through the season and we haven't had anybody really try to do that.
No, not really. I mean, I feel like there's some stuff there about the I like the stuff about the androids. And them being like an outlawed fucking species. I kind of feel like that's just interesting territory that I do sort of wish they would explore a little bit. But because I like some of the world building that's gone on here, and I think it creates some interesting dynamics. But the show is so fucking laser focused on this goddamn big secret that it's getting a little tedious. Honestly, after this Dr. Girardi moved to kill Maddox, now it feels really tedious to me. Because it's so secret. Oh, it's the most secret of all the secrets in all the secrets that ever existed. And it's just, come on. Get past this. I don't care. I mean, I don't care anymore. And all the fucking betrayal. It's just, God.
I have that list of questions.
Yeah.
And without going down the list of questions, do we come within a country mile of answering any of those.
Oh, fuck no. No, not at this point, yeah.
The only thing we learned in this fucking mystery box is something that everyone has already known since episode 1.
Yeah.
Dodge 2 is on the Borg cube.
Yeah.
So it's taken 4 episodes for Picard to get his cast together.
Yeah.
And an extra episode to figure out what we've known for 5 fucking hours.
Yeah.
Ugh.
But listen, see, when you say it like that, it's like, oh, that means it must be really bad because it's really inefficient.
It's just tedious.
It is.
And it's why I'm drinking low and slow.
It is overall, but I don't like none. I just don't. I don't feel like any of that is what makes it like inherently bad. I don't think that it is inherently bad because I like the amount of time that we got to spend in those episodes with Rafi, even though I don't like Rafi. But I like that we get to see we spend time with Rios. We spend time with Girardi. We get to like fucking hear what these characters sound like. All of that is completely worth the slower pace. So it's not that to me it's not that it's inefficient. It's just that the mystery is getting stale. Because that's all that anybody's chasing at this point. And it continues to get stale because the stakes keep getting raised. The fucking the tension and the seriousness of this secret just keeps ramping up. And it's like, how fucking big of a fucking deal can this fucking be that you have to kill someone? That you have to kill someone that you apparently loved. Like, it's just irrational. And so that, like, to me, that's a bridge too far, you know, at least at this point. Maybe they're going to blow all of our fucking minds. Jesus Christ, there's no way that's going to happen. But I just, yeah, I don't, because it's like, if it's that big of a deal, if it's that fucking terrifying, then it's too much. It's the definition of melodrama. Like,
it wouldn't take that much. In terms of overall Star Trek writing, it wouldn't take that much to write the best Star Trek Picard episode at this point. It wouldn't take.
No, I mean, yeah, no, you got to do like I said, I mean, give me a 45-minute fucking transporter episode. I don't know. There's 2 Picards. One of them's evil. Like, I'll take that. Like. Yeah. So yeah, I'm just, yeah, the escalation is to me, that's the thing that's getting really tedious at this point. Cause it's getting in the way, like, it's just getting in the fucking way. And now, like, I have to look at Girardi and be like, this is a character that I was prepared to, like, you know, enjoy, like, to some degree, to enjoy having her be around. And now it's like, I don't fucking want to do this anymore.
Do you think that she murdered Maddox because her face was too big or because her eyes were too small?
I think it's because she's the hottest fucking bitch in the world.
Okay, I had a feeling that you'd say that. I have added to the list, what possible reason would anyone want Borg implants? I mean, this isn't that hard to figure out. Like, Borg implants, are they really that great?
Sure.
They built, but like, okay, the Federation knows enough about the Borg that Voyager, who's out in bumfuck Delta Quadrant,
yeah,
knows how to make, like, you know, a USB charging station for 7 of 9.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not exactly like we don't know what this is. And that's fucking 20 years ago. It's more than 20 years ago, but it's more than 20 years ago.
Sure. I doubt the Federation is marketing that kind of.
No, but like, the Federation knows that nobody in the world has figured this out in 20 years. Like,
well, that's probably why they're selling.
Nobody floated past Wolf 359 and been like, "Wow, there's some salvage possibility
well,
here."
We've never seen a huge. I don't know why you wouldn't want, like, why there wouldn't be a market for that.
But we don't see people running around with, like, Borg technologies. It's like, I'm the 6 million credit man.
Yeah, we haven't done that episode yet, I guess.
Okay. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, if it's a self-contained episode that has a $6 million man.
You want another black market episode, you son of a bitch?
Honestly, you throw the black market episode in the middle of this, best episode of Picard yet.
Yeah, probably.
If you exchange, Battlestar Galactica tech for Borg nonsense, then best episode.
Yeah, probably.
But that's the thing. That's okay. Like, I can watch a movie like Event Horizon and appreciate what that movie's all about.
Yeah.
It's a little graphic for me, but it's less graphic than this episode.
Yeah, no shit.
Well, to be fair, there is that one scene, and honestly, I'd rather watch the Klingon sex scene from Star Trek Discovery to speak well of that episode than watch the opening of this again.
No.
But okay, serious question though. If I can watch somebody be enucleated, have his fucking eyeball ripped out with the cord still attached, and like just viscera everywhere, and watch as the scientist snips that, and the bloody nerve falls on his face.
Yeah.
Why can't you show me some titties when we're flying into sexy Las Vegas of the future?
Yeah, that's fucking true, man. Right, we should have seen some fully naked green bitches. And Orion slave girl, and she should have been a slave. Fucking sex slave on the planet.
Probably.
It's Free Cloud, right?
I don't understand where this fucking planet is, because it kind of feels like it's in the Federation, but it kind of feels like it isn't.
Yeah, I don't know. There was a quartz bar sign there.
And I kind of feel, fuck you. I don't care about your member berries. You're going to have to write a real fucking episode. Oh, did you hear they said quark?
But it's not good Star Trek. That's
C-.
For sure.
I said C-.
Yeah.
C- is a space show, and F- is a Star Trek episode.
No. No. I'd probably give it like a B as a space show. And then maybe like a B. No, probably like a C as a Star Trek show. C.
All right, I'm starting to get depressed again. Do you have anything else that you want to say?
Yeah, let's talk about how Archer committed genocide, and apparently that's not depressing. But
I don't understand why the Federation... I don't understand why the Federation isn't searching for the people who murdered Icheb, a Starfleet officer.
I don't know. Maybe they are. I don't know.
Fuck this show. Anyway, I'm done. We're done.
Okay.
It's all done. This has been the Wednesday Night Gentleman on the latest episode of Picard. Thank you, everybody, for joining us on this brief trek. Think about hitting that like or subscribe button and join us for more arguments in the future. For now, it is time for us to go. Just fucking go. See you on the next one.
Bye-bye.